Good morning. Yes, Your Lordship. Mburu and Associates.
Either from the first or second accused person?
No.
Now, are you paying for your services?
Yeah, the payment was made for the services.
How much were you paying?
Should be 50,000.
So is it correct to say that you only received documents from the defense? You never received documents from no one else except from Mburu?
Yeah, I received the documents from Mburu.
Okay. Yeah. Land registrar, the person whose signature stamp impression you are analyzing?
No.
Did you have direct contact with the land registrar, Your Honor? The witness testified as PW7 to verify your findings.
I didn't get in touch with the land registrar.
Now, did you examine the original question documents or you are using copies?
I worked on the copies, Your Lordship. The same were clear, legible, and I found them suitable for comparison purposes.
Okay. It's preferable forensic analysis.
It is the best using originals, but here we have copies, and they were clear, and I found them suitable for comparison purposes.
So you do confirm that you never inspected the original documents, but worked on copies?
I've answered that question, Your Lordship.
That's okay. Now, would you agree that analyzing a photocopy can sometimes introduce limitations, inaccuracies in comparison to working with original documents?
But in this particular examination, the documents were clear, Your Lordship, and I used them in the examination.
On your findings?
No, copies can be examined, and an examiner
I'm
can.
just asking you a question.
Yes. So can you repeat the question?
My question is, can analysis based on copies affect reliability
No.
on findings?
No. You can make an opinion when you examine copies, provided those copies are clear. And that is what happened to this one.
So you insist with regard to this one, they were clear?
They were clear.
Now, are you aware that the land registrar, that is PW7, under oath, denied that the signature and stamp were hers?
I'm not aware.
She would be mistaken about our signature and stamp?
No, I cannot comment on that one, because I was not there when the documents were being signed.
Now, were you aware that another analysis had been done by a government document examiner?
I'm not aware.
You are not aware?
I'm not aware.
And it would mean that you were never given that report to make your comparison or to scrutinize?
I never saw that report. I received the documents and I was requested to examine the documents.
You confirmed you never seen that document, and you are not. It's not one of the documents that you were given to analyze it.
Yeah, this was done by Chania Geoffrey, and I never saw it. It was not forwarded to me when.
So you are not in a position to maybe confirm or point out specific errors in the methodology that was used?
No, the author is Chania, and I cannot comment on his report.
Now, I would like you to go to the methodology that he used, that is on page. And you've indicated the methodology you used.
Just a microscope and magnifying glasses for enlargement and good observation.
Okay.
Yes.
So those are the only equipments you
That
used?
is what I have in my laboratory.
Okay. Now, from the government experts report, you can see in his methodology, apart from using a magnifying glass, he also used a video spectra comparator and projectina using infrared filters for better visibility. You can confirm that?
Your Lordship, when I was in charge of the section,
No, just
let me explain. Let me explain. I know how this equipment
you will
operate.
have your chance, please.
Okay, what is the question?
The question I wanted you to confirm, apart from magnifying glasses, they went ahead and used video spectra
Yes.
and other modern equipments
But
from the methodology.
From
Your report, you only used magnifying
and
glass.
that was insufficient for me to make an opinion.
So my question
Because
was,
the purpose of this equipment is to magnify whatever you are examining. And a microscope and magnifying glasses can do that.
Your Honor, perhaps I would need protection from the court.
Kindly just breathe in and out.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
hear what he has to say as a question.
Can you repeat the question?
My question is,
Yes.
apart from magnifying glasses, the expert witness from the government used other modern equipments in carrying out his analysis. I've shown you his document, just confirm from the methodology, that is what is captured.
I have said the equipment which was used by Chania, I'm the one who purchased this when I was in charge. And the main purpose is to magnify, to blow whatever you're examining. You follow and pick characteristics. No, I know how to use them. I used them before I retired.
Answer his question and then we can.
So what is your question?
I'll repeat again for the 5th time. Just confirm from the methodology that is captured by the government expert, apart from using the magnifying glasses, he went ahead and used modern equipment as captured in his report.
Yeah, the equipment have been mentioned here.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Now, National Forensics Lab is a government lab with modern equipments.
Yeah, they have equipment for examination of documents.
Now, when you are doing your analysis, which lab did you use
I used whatever I have in my lab
in your lab?
because I didn't see the purpose of going to the lab and the CID headquarters to examine the documents. That is a government lab. And what I have is a microscope and magnifying glasses. And they are sufficient for an examiner to make an opinion.
Now, is your lab a certified entity?
No, I have that equipment.
Is it a certified entity by any
No.
non-entity in Kenya?
That is what I use in examining documents. That I use those equipment to examine
My
documents.
question was, is your lab approved or certified entity?
No, it isn't.
Okay. To yours?
No, I have not said that, but they are the same. The purpose is one, Your Lordship. Your Lordship.
But you only used magnifying glasses?
Yeah, and the microscope.
Now, would the quality of the photocopy you received have affected your findings in any way?
No. I've said those documents were clear, they were legible, and I used them in the examination of the documents.
Would it be possible that you overlooked certain details that might have led to a different conclusion?
No, Your Honor. I did this examination professionally, and I did it to the best of my knowledge and understanding.
Now, is it fair to say that document examination can...
If done properly, the outcomes should be the same.
So are you suggesting yours was done properly?
It was.
Now, in light of the testimony by the land registrar, that is PW7, and the prosecution expert witness, the government document examiner, are you still confident that your analysis is the correct one?
Mine is correct as per the examination you led.
Now, I would like to show you your report, that is page 6 of your report. Now, with the naked eye,
Yes.
you can clearly see that the stamp impression are not similar in any way, even in terms of sizes. Is that correct?
Your Ladyship, these stamp impressions were made by the same instrument. When scanning was done on the specimen signatures, the ratio was made smaller. But when you go through all these letters on the stamp impressions, they were made by the same instrument.
No different in the two stamp impression.
The star is there on both the question signature, stamp impression, and
You can see
The
the stars
star-
are different from
No,
the
no,
known and
no, they're not.
the question document.
The stamp impressions were made by the same
Your
instrument.
Honor, I would like to invite the court to have a look at the document, that is page 6, the size of the stamp impression, and the questioned stamp impression. The sizes are clearly different, and even the stamp.
That is not the position. The star, the figures on the stamp impression, plus the writings or the letters, same instrument.
Now, there was also another document that you were instructed to examine. Was it anything? Okay, that is exhibit 51 and 58. I think you captured that in your report. Now, did you reach out to the purported author of that document, that is exhibit 51?
No.
Did you use specimen signatures for your analysis?
Yeah, there are some non-signatures on H1 to H6, which I used in this examination,
You only use known signatures.
and H1 to H6.
And you still insist your findings are correct compared to the findings of the government experts,
I maintain that my report is correct.
when you never scrutinize or compare the reports of the government?
No, whoever gave out that report gave out his opinion, and in this examination, I also gave out my opinion.
By the prosecution
No,
for the known signatures.
Those,
Has he shown you any other
no.
signatures other than the one that you have?
Yeah, I worked on the documents which I used to make an opinion in my report, and have not received any other documents.
So it is your evidence before this court that what was presented to you and the sample signatures and what you worked on in this report.
What was presented to you?
These sample signatures
By
by Mr. Mulu. The forwarding letter.
Your Honor, I worked on the documents which were forwarded to me by Mburu, and thereafter I made a report after the examination of the documents.
You have been taken through the methodology.
Yes.
Counsel. Does the modernness of an equipment change a finding?
No. Through the experience of more than 30 years in examining documents, the main purpose we are using equipment or whatever, but the main purpose is to magnify whatever you are examining and make an opinion. The equipment is there to assist the examiner, but you cannot get the results using the equipment. No. It is going to assist the examiner to form an opinion.
Mr. Kenya, just a question.
Yes.
Now that the prosecution has gone in depth to question the document, has the prosecution presented to you any report from the court showing that your report has ever been declared inadmissible?
No, I've not been shown any report in this court.
You further confirmed to this court that the copies supplied to you were clear, legible, and fit for examination, correct?
Exactly. That is what I found out.
And it's from that it's from that gave you basis for your finding, correct?
Correct, Your Lordship. Your Ladyship.
Is there a rule, a mandatory rule, that only original documents are fit for examination?
No, in the absence of the original documents, an examiner can work on photocopies and make an opinion, provided those documents which are copies are clear and there is no manipulation on those documents.
Okay, I've been taken to page 6 of the report,
Yes.
where the prosecutor has purported to claim that the stars, two signatures, are different. Just for clarity to this court, we can use left and right. The signature sample that you're examining on the left, is it the actual size or magnified size?
It is a magnified size. And I've said the magnification of the two sets here are different. But now the contents, the fonts of this the contents of the stamp impression, we have the letters and figures. They are from the same instrument.
And on the chain of command of documents, the letter that you received, the instruction letter that you received from Istanbul, that is the document dated 18 September 2025.
Yes.
What were the express instructions under paragraph 2? Paragraph 2 of that letter. Please wait for this. Just for the letter.
No, I don't have the letter here.
It's after page 6. Immediately after page 6. I'm just laying basis. At the time of doing this report,
Yes.
were you aware of any statement by a Miss Pauline person?
No, I don't know that lady.
At the time of doing this report, were you or did you have knowledge of a Mr. Augustine Ngweria?
No, Your Ladyship.
At the time of doing this letter, had you come across or looked at previously at stamp impression by one Pauline Pesa.
No, Your Ladyship.
So it's your evidence before this court that the documents presented by the letter forwarded to you by the letter of Mr. Buru, you are seeing them for the very first time.
That is exactly what happened, Your Ladyship.
And from it is why you made your objection.
I received the documents, and I did as instructed, and came out with a report which is before this court.
Thank you. No further issue. You have been referred to the exhibits number 51 and 58.
Yes.
Are those They've also been referred to exhibit number 58. Are they different from what you examined?
They're the same, Your Ladyship. They're the same documents which I worked on.
No, that is not the witness. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Ladyship.
Almighty God,
that I shall give before this court,
that I shall give before this court,
touching on the matters in question,
touching on the matter before the question,
shall be truth
truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So,
Mr. Davis, I request you to be audible for the court to hear. Please tell this court.
My name is Davis Nathan Chelogoi.
Please describe what you do or what you are doing.
I'm a
occupation.
retired public servant. I've been in provincial administration most of my life, almost the last 40 years. And I started from a very low level as a cadet to the rank of provincial commissioner. And from there, I went to the cabinet office, presidency, on political affairs of the country. I've worked throughout all the provinces in Kenya, now the current counties, from that lower level up the level I said. In the cabinet office, I was in Arambe House, second floor.
Mr. Chelogoi, do you know why you are before this court?
I'm before this court because I'm facing some very serious charges by the complainant, but articulated by Director of Public Prosecution on a property that is in Lower Kabete that I found myself in a strange dispute between myself and the complainant. And it's a dispute that has raged on the last 3 years and a half, both in the civil court, Court of Appeal, High Court, Magistrate Courts, now Criminal Court. And the last one was at the DCI's office. All these charges are one property, the one in Loresho. I'm the single accused person and the complainant in one. So all these multiple charges are intended to defeat the title I have. And so I'm here now to provide concrete evidence as to the ownership of the property I own.
Mr. Chelogoi, in brief, what has this criminal proceeding or this whole dispute over this property, how has it affected you, in brief?
These charges are like a bombshell to me. It has a considerable impact in my social and economic life because it came in very suddenly. Very suddenly. I didn't expect it, but it came very suddenly. And so I'm so devastated on this matter. Despite the devastation, I've remained resilient, duty-bound, and respectful to the law. I've appeared in this court for the last almost 2 years now. I've never missed an occasion, all in an effort to demonstrate my innocence and ownership of this property. Even when I've been peddled in these other courts, all of them, the purpose was to get me intimidated, surrender. I thank God that I have not been able to surrender. I've remained very resilient. For over 40 years, I've never gone to church, but I've had to go to church to seek an intervention. Maybe the church would have told me, Chelogoi, you are wrong somewhere. Please leave this property. But all the sermons have said, Chelogoi, be courageous and be strong. And that's why I'm here.
Mr. David Chelogoi, what is your...
I'm now 72.
72 years old.
72 years old. And throughout the 72 years, 40 years in public service, I have never been indicted in this type of crime. Never. Even the most sophisticated officers I've worked on the land, I've never been subjected to this. I've been an AI holder for almost 17 years, in charge of millions of shillings of government. And there's no single day I've been accused of fraud. So this is the very first time at 72 that I'm accused of fraud.
The charge sheets and the counts that have faced you, correct?
Yeah.
You have been charged that on or before the 9th December 2020.
Because the property referred
Exhibit 51. It was produced as Exhibit 51. Yes?
Yes. So this is the letter of allotment that give me a property in Lower Kabete.
What is the acreage of the property?
It measures 7. The premium was 2,482,834. 2,482,834.
Mr. Chelogoi, is this the only letter of allotment that you've ever been allocated, or there are others you've been allocated in others before?
For the property of Lower Kabete, this is the only letter of allotment. But I have many other letters of allotment of properties elsewhere in the country.
When did you take possession of the property?
Immediately I got the letter of allotment, I took possession of the property. Because as I said, this was a presidential location. And so the Commission of Lands then had been asked to show me the property. And because of our nature of job, it was necessary to take possession, and that is what I did.
At the time of being allotted the land in 1995, what position were you in government?
I was a district commissioner.
As a district commissioner.
Yeah.
Can you tell this court the estimated salary you're earning back then in 1995?
The salary was significantly low. It was less than, it's about 24,000 at that time.
1995, Your Honor.
Yeah, it was about 24,000. Because of the pecuniary loans that we were taking, sometimes you could get a net of about 16,000.
So you have told me that you immediately took possession of the property, correct?
Yes.
When did you begin the process of regularizing this?
Our income. At that time, there were no other side incomes. We were not doing business in government. So the salary that we were earning was not enough to do this. So because of that, it was difficult to complete the process immediately. So I had to wait for quite some time until I was sufficiently resourced to be able to pay the premiums and so on.
So when did you start? I repeat the question. When did you start the process? Can you give us a tentative date?
Yes. Now, this is around 2021 is when I started to do the 9th, okay, fine, 9th December 2020. That is when I started the preliminary process of processing the title.
Just hold it there. So you allocated land in 1995, and you began the process in 2020. Between 1995 and 2020, had you ever been served with any eviction notice, any eviction order for you to evict from the property?
No.
No. Between who came to lay claim on that property? Chelogoi, make us understand. Between 1995 and 2020, while in occupation of that property, what activities conduct on the property to show that you're in occupation?
As I said, about that time, there wasn't a very serious appetite attached to property. The monetary component was not so much in properties. So the property was idle. This was property that is, those who may know Lower Kabete, it is on a very steep depression. So accessing it is extremely difficult because there's a company building at the roadside opposite Faraslen. So you have to go deep and across the river because this property is surrounded by 2 rivers. Now, and there was a lot of natural forest. So what I did was to request watchmen who are around that area, if there could be some who can take care of this property. And they were very excited. I showed them the property. I said, listen, here is some property. I'm not near Nairobi, but I want you to do some development. So many of them started clearing the bush. That is the, and this property, those who know that area, is next actually to borders University of Nairobi's vast land, which is still virgin. It has not been developed. So they started making some small agricultural activities, and those are in pictures really that I think have circulated in various,
You know, the photos the photos were presented in the prosecution bundle, but the same were not produced. We would like to produce the photos.
You will see people burning charcoal.
Yep.
You will see people growing maize, growing vegetables as they cleared the bushes. 2 years later, I realized the water was not seeding because it was watery meshing. So I decided that we plant blue gum.
So, Mr. Chelogoi, you have commenced the process. So, according to the letter of allotment, when did you commence the process?
As I said, I commenced 9th October 2020.
Please tell this court what transpired on the 9th of this.
So the first thing was having secured the ground, because the president told us something that when I give you something, you must guard it. That is precisely what I did. So when I came, now after that long period, I had to present letter of allotment to the ministry to validate it. And I was introduced to an officer who was then Deputy Director of Land Administration, who then received my letter.
Will you please tell this court the name of the officer you have mentioned?
That officer was called Mutiwa, Peter Mutiwa. He was the Deputy Director, Land Administration. So when he received my letter of allotment, he asked me to come later to check. They have some internal things that they must do. So I left it with him. And I came back, I think after about 2 months or so, to check on the progress. And I found that the letter had been validated. There were quite a number of signatures which were on the body of the signature to validate this letter of allotment. It had been taken to SPRO, I think SPRO means Senior Records Office, and committed. That then again checked the system and found no payment had been made again.
On what? Which date?
13th March 2021.
Read that date again.
31st March 2021. And this similar letter I also used
At 1st of March
2021.
You know we are referring to exhibit number 105. 31st of March
2021.
In the letter accepting, can you please read for us paragraph 2?
To the Principal Secretary, Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning, LR number 18485. The above subject refers. Thank you for the offer of parcel of land area number 18485. I hereby accept the offer and promised by all the conditions indicated in the letter of allocation. Please find attached here with a banker's check of 2,213,804. This is the number of the check, 213,804 for Kenya shillings, 682,834.
So you confirm to this court that you did your letter of acceptance on the 31st of March 2021, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was payment effected with regards to that amount?
Yes, Your Honor, payment was effected.
And was it accepted by the ministry?
It was made on 21st April 2021 of 2,482,000. 21st April 2021.
Was there a receipt issued to you?
The receipt number is 541-9791.
Receipt number?
541-9791.
Mr. Chelogoi, you have told this court that you made payments of the same and a receipt was issued by the ministry, which you have stated, correct?
Yes.
Was this receipt ever scrutinized or subjected to any inquiry or analysis?
Ultimately brought me here. The CID had wrote to the principal secretary investigating on the veracity of that receipt. And the PS, Honorable General Nixon Koril, apparently I've never met him, but I've heard a lot about him, confirmed that that receipt would have just given the number is valid both in the government printer and in the ministry. The letter was 15th November.
We wish to produce the letter by the PS of 15th November 2023 as Defense Exhibit 20. Taken us through extensively. And you have mentioned to us an officer by the name Peter Nzuki Mutuiwa, correct?
Yes.
Did Mr. Peter Nzuki Mutuiwa, as a witness?
Yes.
The prosecution?
Because I've read the statement, meaning he was called. Yes.
Was there a statement that was recorded?
Yes.
You're now referring to exhibit number 59.
Yes.
Can you read for us paragraph 2?
I also wish to clarify. I did seek the status from the said office was that the plot (323709) for the subject plot. Because it,
It's reading. I can't write everything is reading, and it's an expert. Yeah, I can't read everything. I can't write everything that is reading. I'm listening, but he's already marked it as an expert, and it is for one. Is it expert 59 para 2?
Yeah, 59.
And he's reading. So I'm not going to write the entire thing because it's going to be in here.
Yeah, one guy just wanted to know whether council is progressing.
No,
on the
he's
right
hearing you
so
very
that
well.
then don't some of them.
I would have
So-
stopped him.
Thank you.
So from this fight,
after SPRO, which is important, the response from the said office, that is SPRO, was, and this paved way for the opening of file number 323709 for the subject plot to process payment leading to the processing of this document and subsequently a certificate of title.
Mr. Chelogoi, you sat here during the hearing. Did the prosecution bring any officer from the Ministry of Lands, from the accounts office, to challenge your payment or the receipt that you're Is there any officer from the Ministry of Land who came to testify
Quite a number.
and challenged your letter of allotment?
No.
I present to you a document marked as Exhibit 86. Please tell this court of that letter. And what is the letter?
This letter is...
Just a minute, Council, and the letter which is exhibit number 59. And who was there?
Peter Zukimtiwa.
Now, one Korea, P.S. Korea.
Yes,
That should be the exhibit 20.
Exhibit 20, Your Honor.
And the author.
Is the author, and it's a response to a letter from the...
I hope you bring him as a witness.
Sorry?
Will you bring him as a witness?
No, Your Honor, it's a response to a letter from the DCI.
And he's the one who responded.
Yes. In fact, it's captioned in the letter.
Do you have a question?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because that is why you say that the issue of like we can pay, it is like it is okay. Go ahead and pay, right? In short.
No,
Council.
92. And he's talking about residential plot locker with a bank check of 2.482834 million.
During the time,
It is alleging here Davis Nathan Chelogoi, myself.
what do you have to say about that letter?
This is not a letter which I gave to the IO. The one I gave to the IO was the one of 13th.
It's a fraud. The letter is
This is not my letter. This is not my letter.
I would like to take you to exhibit number 180. Documents to the DCI, correct?
Yes.
Is the letter that you have mentioned of 1992 featured anywhere in that?
Here is my letter of 31st March 2021, which I have earlier on referred to. But the, of 31st March 2021, that's the one that is.
Did any witness presented by the prosecution attest to having seen you with any land officer in the procuring of the title before this court?
No, not at all.
Did the prosecution whether any communication with any land of the property Nairobi block without any color of right between the periods of 9th December 2020 and 12th December 2023. You're familiar? You've seen the particulars?
Yes.
What do you have?
Now, first of all, of 9th December 2020 to 12th December 2023. That was just about the time I was doing the process. Nairobi block 8040.
The dates you're on our about 2023.
Yeah.
Mr. Chelogoi,
Yeah.
if I refer my question. Was issued after fulfillment?
Certificate of title.
The certificate,
Issued,
certificate
yeah.
of title. When was the that is the IR number?
Yeah, and the title is 18485. And
Now-
the deed plan is
Yes.
03.
Certificate of lease that was issued to you,
Yes,
and there was a certificate of title that was issued to you by the Minister of Lands.
yes.
This period, was there any person who came to claim ownership of the same property?
No. Referred to is Nairobi Block 80, stroke 44 to 72. Now, this property was registered on 13 February 22. Nairobi Block 80, stroke 44 to 72, which was a product of conversion. And this was registered on 13 February 2024, much later than the allegation. So it is outside the time frame given by prosecution.
So between the, it is your evidence that between that period, as stated in the charge sheet, you had title issued by the Ministry of Land over the property.
Yes.
Correct?
Yeah.
Were you aware of any case involving that parcel of land?
No.
Are you aware of a case, ELC 312 of 2009, between Ashok Rup Shisha and Hiten Kumar Raja versus Jacob Juma? Are you aware of such a case?
That was drawn on my attention after 28th of July 2022.
28 July 2022.
That-
Why is that date significant?
Yes, that is, I was outside Nairobi, and my workers called me to say that there is an Indian who turns out to be the current complainant, had come into the property with the police from Girigiri, and they were carrying a document which alleges that he was the owner of the property. And that was, by the way, the first time I've ever seen anybody. So I instructed, I was in Nakuru, and and check on what is happening. He rushed the property. That is Ariuki, one of the advocates. He's not here, but one of the advocates for the civil case. And they rushed the property and found the police so speedy, and a team of policemen, about 6, together with the complainant. They were in the property with a document. showed him a judgment.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Judgment, I would have said, of 28th July 2028.
And it involved case number ELC 312
312
of 2009.
2009.
Were there efforts that you tried to do in participating or arresting that judgment?
Before the judgment, earlier on, before that, the complainant had come to the property and he was harassing the. Before the judgment was read.
Mr. Chelogoi, to save time, I'd like you to be very specific. What was the judgment? What property?
IR number 64011.
The communication given out by the complainant to evict you on the basis of that judgment.
Complainant filed an application of eviction in the ELC court. That was dated. Yes, it was dated 13th September 2023. And in that application,
it's a concluded matter. It's a concluded matter.
Yeah. 13th September 2023. And that judgment, he sought to evict me. So that ruling was now responding to the application of eviction. And in that application, the judge declined to grant eviction orders on the grounds that Chelogoi, who is me, was not a party to the case between the current complainant and somebody late Juma.
Then we are referring to Exhibit 110, which is a ruling by the ELC on the 31st October 2023. Applications by the complainant to evict you from the property.
Applications really was to that was contained in the judgment, so that it's again that was declined by Environment and Land Court, and that ruling is here. Then there was yet another one. There were in fact a total of 4 or 5 but in all of them, the Environment and Land Court declined. Specific ground that Chelogoi is entitled to be heard. The fact that he was not a party to this. Article 50 of the
of April 2024 in ELC 312 2009 and ELC E070 of 2023. I wish the two rulings as Defense Exhibit 21. So you confirm that between the period and even beyond the period stated in the charge sheet, the courts of law had allowed you to remain in occupation and possession of the property.
Yes.
And there are rulings presented before this court.
Yes.
Between 9th December and the period up to date, 9th December 2020, between 9th December 2020 and to date, has there been an eviction order issued against you by any court?
Not at all. And you have not mentioned, apart from High Court, Environment Court, the complainant also took me 4 times to the magistrates' courts. And in those applications, the law court said they didn't have a jurisdiction to grant any orders, and they asked for evaluation of this property. Unfortunately, the complainant didn't give that valuation report, and so all the applications again were dismissed. So to date, I don't have any orders evicting me from the property.
Are orders in of 2024 and MCC E155, 152 of 2024. Yes.
Jurisdiction, if it, so let's not get into that.
Thank you. Yes. No, it's not. You are accused of forging the letter of allotment dated 5707/7. Is that correct?
No. It's not correct. First of all, as I mentioned earlier in my introduction, this letter of allotment was collected by the late PC. So the late Mbureri, whom I learned later that he had passed on, I never saw him. I don't know. So I even don't know how he signs. I just saw it in there. So if there was anything that was not usual, not that I'm aware of, in any case, Your Honor, even when the prosecution were investigating this matter, I think there must be basic ingredients in which you look at. How do you determine a forgery? And if I look at, and it was easier to look at versus the Republic.
Of lands.
Yes.
Was the same verified by Peter Nzuki, Mr. Peter Nzuki?
Mutiwa.
Mutiwa?
Yeah, yes.
Is there confirming that they said the signature is
That is why they are calling a forgery. There is a report that
you have been before this court, and you. What is your view about the document examination, Mr. Kenga?
you can use copies to identify a document. you can use copies to issue certificates. And Kenga, that this letter of allotment, he has properly used his mechanisms and established that this is the same signature as Mburiari.
Of forging the signature of one polling person. Impression of one polling person.
Yes. I confirm the charge, but I deny the allegation.
Why do you deny the allegation?
First of all, the document had already been signed, and there was no need for additional signature. In fact, Presa, I don't understand the value she was adding to that, apart from trying to spoil the document. There's no value for it.
When you say the document had been signed, the document had been signed by who, according to your knowledge?
The letter of allotment had been signed by Mbweria.
The certificate of title that you're referring to was signed by who?
By Ngetich. The title. Yeah.
That is the registrar.
Yeah, the registrar Ngetich. CK Ngetich.
Was there any evidence from Mr. Ngetich disowning his signature?
No.
Was there any evidence from Mr. Ngetich indicating that he never registered the said your title?
No.
During the hearing, and with the witnesses who were lined up, did the prosecution present any instrument to confirm that the stamp impression and the signature of Pauline Pesa was a forgery?
Not at all.
Was there any stamp collected from you during the course of the investigation?
No.
Was there any template of a signature that was collected by the IO?
No.
You have heard the statement of Mr. Kenga and the report presented therein. So it is your evidence that the signatures as contained in the letter of allotment and the certificate of title are from the same person, correct?
Yes.
You have seen the statement of Mr. Charles Kipkurui Ngetich. Yes?
Yes.
In brief, what does he say?
Ngetich satisfied that he did sign.
That is PW 16. Mr. Ngetich is PW 16. Yes, PW 16, yeah. Yes.
Ngetich confirms there was a signatory of the documents referred to above, and the examiner of the investigation who Mr. Mburu hired has confirmed that the signatures in those documents for Pauline Acheng Pesa are the same, and that she was the signatory of those documents.
Of those documents?
Yeah.
Mr. Sorry?
Which document is that he has alluded to?
Sorry, Mr. Chelogoi, carry on. Repeat that, what you're saying.
There's the certificate of title. Yes. And then the other one was a search, really, at the back.
The search was from who and done by who?
The search was signed by Ngetich and came together with the certificate. Because what happens is that when you are given a title, then it is accompanied by the search. And that search had already been satisfied by one signatory, and that was Ngetich, the registrar. And traditionally, up to now, there can never be additional signature. That is why.
Mr. Chelogoi,
yeah.
I'll confine you to the documents of Mr. Ngetich.
Yes.
He's the one who registered the document, correct?
Yes.
It has not been disputed by the prosecution, correct?
No.
Was there any witness who came before this court from the Ministry of Lands who came and said the certificate of title for LR 18485232908 was not issued by the Ministry of Lands?
No.
That you held a letter of allotment from the Ministry of Lands and a certificate of title.
Yes.
In your own observation, the documents that were presented to you, what the valid titles for that property?
Sorry.
In your own observation.
Yeah.
The documents you held between 9th December 2020 and 12th December 2023 were the valid documents issued by the Ministry of Lands.
Yes.
Mr. Chelogoi, between that same period, did the complainant here make a claim over the property?
Yes.
Please explain to this honorable court.
The complainant, alongside applications to evict me, decided to report this as a crime. And this was 13th October 2022. Police station.
The document, the lead to an investigation, Exhibit 103. Exhibit 103 on.
The OCS Spring Valley, Mr. Owino, summoned me that there's a complaint by the current complainant, Mr. Ashok. And so he summoned me to take my documents to Spring Valley for verification and commencement of the investigation. Mr. Ashok likewise was asked to submit his documents to the station. I did deliver my documents, but for some mysterious reason, Mr. Ashok didn't turn up, and he was initially the complainant. Upon receipt of my documents, the OCS wrote to the Ministry of Lands saying he was investigating fraud between two people, Ashok and Chelogoi, and he wanted to know, according to the ministry records, who is properly registered, who is the owner of the property.
Was there a response to the inquiry by OCS Owino?
Yes, so Limo, after the officer Spring Valley wrote this letter, it went to the ministry. After about 4 days or so, the ministry responded to his letter, and the response is on 17th October 2022, addressed to Kenya Police by Ministry of Lands. And the reference is lands dispute between the Nay Company Limited and Davis Nathan Chelogoi. And I'll read. Reference is made to your letter dated 13th October 2022, which I've just read, on the above subject. Records held by this department indicate that Davis Nathan Chelogoi is the genuine owner of the property.
103, Your Honor.
103.
Now, who is the author of that letter?
The author of this letter is seeking it again
Mr. Seeking
for land registrar.
Subsequent investigations conducted?
Yes. Now, this letter, before it was replied to, the complainant to this dispute came to the regional office, Nairobi area. And the information I was told is that he had...
That one, it's hearsay. Give what is in the document.
Yes. So in the regional office, Nairobi area. And I was again called to deliver my documents to Nairobi area in addition to the ones that had been collected from the OCS Spring Valley. And I delivered additional documents to the regional office. Upon delivery of those documents to the regional office, I wrote a statement. And in between, the regional office was making efforts to conduct a shop to bring his documents. But for over 3 months, he didn't bring any documents. And so investigations proceeded with only my documents. And on 9th March 2023, my advocate, Orioke, wrote to the regional office inquiring about the outcome of the investigation of his client's property, and that is me. And the response was given to him on 27 March 2023.
No, these two documents had not been marked and will be producing.
So that's the only way you cannot be there when I'm making judgments. I don't have to give.
Yes.
That is a document marked.
We wish to produce the letter dated 27th March 2023 as Defense Exhibit 22.
And in this letter dated 23rd March, so in this response, the reference was inquiry, file number 2 of 2023 over LR number, came up with his own documents over the same land. It's much later. During our investigations, we wrote a letter to the land registrar stating that the land is registered in the name of Davis Nathan Chelogoi. And the registrar who signed was again C.K. Metich, the senior land registrar with the Ministry of Lands.
Thank you. The records at the Ministry of Lands reflected your titles, correct?
Yes. DCI. And the DCI stayed with it until 15th June 2023.
What is the date of the report?
15th June 2023.
You're now referring to Exhibit 109. Of the report, what did it conclude?
The last paragraph, this one here.
And the conclusion of the report?
And I will read. Based on the above findings and the establishments, then it is apparent that the title in the custody of Ashok Kumar Rupi Shah was not genuinely issued. Hence, it is a forgery. It is for this reason that I recommend that E1, that is Ashok, and E2, that is Raja, who hold the contested and unrecognized title documents, be charged for making a false document without authority under Section 357 of the Penal Code.
So, Mr.
The author is Amos Omuga, for Director of Criminal Investigation. Amos Omuga is the Director of Criminal Investigation.
Chelogoi, you have referred to that inquiry by the Nairobi area DCI. What was the inquiry file number? So that
Number 27.
read it in full.
DCI Regional Nairobi Inquiry File number 27 of 2023.
2023.
Yeah.
In your knowledge, has this inquiry file ever been taken action on after this?
Your Honor, after this letter, the DPP wrote a letter sometime later, actually in the midst of the current investigation that brought us here, to say that this letter is returned to you, look at various gray areas for further investigation. Now,
So you confirm to this honorable court that you did not only hold a title, did not only were you issued the letter of allotment given by the Minister of Land, there were investigations which were conducted subsequently which confirmed that that land, the subject land, belonged to you, correct?
yes.
You have been charged in count number 5. With the offense of uttering
Allegation contained in that charge.
Mr. Chelogoi, again I issued by the Ministry of Lands.
It was validated by Peter Nzuki Mutwiwa, and then it circulated in various units of the ministry, SPRO accounts, that led eventually.
Just the answer.
Yes. Yes.
The witness, just answer what your counsel is saying. Just repeat the question so that.
at the time of 11th October 2020, issued by the courts?
No. By the genuineness of those documents. So it's not true.
It is not true. You are aware of the prosecution presented to us. Just before that, after procuring your title on the 4th of June 2021,
Yeah.
what activities did you do in your efforts to regularize the title and your ownership of the property?
First of all, a file has been opened for this property. Payments that were required, I made them as required.
The files were opened where, Mr. Chelogoi?
In the ministry.
The ministry.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Yeah. So upon this, they have issued me with a lease with a title. Then I went ahead now to make various payments, premium to Nairobi City Council. Even as we were doing so, numerous payments were made on various dates. Some of them are now.
By Davis Nathan Chelogoi in Exhibit 93. In the receipts presented, what is the reference number? Parcel of land.
Number 18485.
For payment? Prosecution call any person from the Nairobi City County to challenge the authenticity of the land. Is there aim to this parcel of land?
The IO wrote to Nairobi City Council
The IO wrote to the Nairobi City Council?
to verify the payments in the City Council.
Yes.
And the response was that in their system,
Your Honor, we are referring to a letter dated 29th November 2023 from Nairobi City Council to to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation in response to the letter of inquiry by the DCI. The letter was not produced, but was part of the documents presented by the prosecution. We wish to produce the same documents dated 29th November 2023 as exhibit, defense exhibit number.